Hello everybody, welcome to Sin City Living. Jason here, bringing you today's video. So I've had a few questions lately about come bets, so I wanted to go ahead and, I've done this before, but I wanted to go ahead and update and do another video on come bets and the old come bet versus place bet debate that goes on, and just kind of demonstrate a few things with the comes versus the place bets. So the first thing I want to say is one of the common arguments that come bettors will make is that, well, when the 7 comes, they'll win in the come, so they get some of their money back. Well, with the amount of money they put out on the rest of the table, that amount that they win right there is very, very minimal. First. Second off, what they'll say, especially the ones that do the 2 or 3 point Molly system, is that if the 7 comes in the first couple of rolls, they may even make money. If it's a point and then 7 out, they'll actually make money based on the come. And otherwise, they'll only have maybe one bet that travels before that 7 out, so they lose less, so they have less at stake. And the problem with that is people that are playing with that in mind as part of their strategy, they really don't have a strategy. Basically, they're trying to make a strategy based around early 7s. You're playing the wrong side of the table if that's what you're doing. It does not mean if you catch a long roll that come bettors don't make money. They absolutely can. They just won't make as much money, and that's the thing. The ideal strategy is what will make you the most money when you catch that 20 or 30 minute roll. Where are you going to really make your money? What is your win condition, first off, and how much will it take in order to, how many hits on the same number will it take for you to hit your win condition? So if you buy in for, say, $1,000 and your win condition is, doubling up to win $1,000, well, how many hits will it take on the same number? Because that's the best way to look at it. Just figure one number. How many times does one number have to hit in order to make your win condition for you? That's what you should look at, because then you can kind of figure out, is my strategy based on a 20-minute roll, 30-minute roll, 40-minute roll, hour roll, 2-hour roll? If a 20-minute roll won't hit your win condition, you probably need to reevaluate your strategy. So with come bets, what we're going to do is we're going to look at what we've done this in the past, the whole 15 rolls without a 7, 30 rolls, then 45 rolls, and then 60 rolls without a 7, based off statistical likelihoods of the rolls. Now I'm going to get rid of the puck on this one. We're just going to go off the statistical likelihoods of the rolls, and we're going to factor in that these are going to hit while they are working. So it's ignoring any 7s or any numbers that would roll while the point is off. Okay, so, and again, this is statistical likelihood of rolls coming, and ideally most of your rolls, or most of your strategies are based around breaking those statistics, having a 5 or a 6 hit 7 or 8 and 9 times in a 15-minute roll. That's what a lot of strategies are really based around. But we're going to look at this just off statistical likelihoods, and we're going to run 4 different bets here. We're going to have the come bet player. Now, here's the thing to look at. We're going to say a 3-point Molly system, where we're going to do 3, 4, 5 odds, okay? So we'll do a quarter odds, or a quarter flat bet, quarter minimum bet table. That means maximum odds, maximum odds would be 125 on the 6, 100 on the 5, and 75 on the 9. Now, of course, if you do a 3-point Molly system, and at that point they won't have this out anymore, so they just have their 3 points. So that is the most that this player wants to have at risk, right? So let's look at it. That means that the most they want to have at risk is $375, okay? So we're going to go $375 or less, pretty much at all times. So we're going to have a couple players. We're going to have a player that just does his come bets. We're going to do a 3-point Molly system, okay? And we will look at we'll say the 4, 5, and 6, okay? Just to make it easy. They will be on the 4, 5, and 6 only. And actually, no, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that 3-point Molly system. We're just going to have a come better, okay? Come better. They're going to do max odds, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to have another player that is going to, now we said 375 is the most that they are willing, that the player is willing to risk, right? So we're going to have another player that's going to risk $320. Just $320, so less than that $360. But this player is going to mid-press. Okay? They're going to mid-press. Then we're going to have two other players that are going to place as if it were a come bet. What I mean by that is they're going to place whatever number rolls. So you see that a lot. You see a come better that will say 6 rolls, right? So it travels to the 6, and then they go ahead and they make their odds bet. And then I'll see another player that says, to heck with it, I'm going to go ahead and place it after it rolls, okay? After it's rolled once. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have someone that places it for the exact same amount of money so that we can see. So if the player would have a quarter with 125 odds, and we'll have another player that just does 150 placing it. Okay, we're going to have two players that do that. The first player will same bet every time. The second player is also going to do a mid press. And we're going to take a look and see how this goes. This is probably going to be multiple videos. Once they've all posted, I'll stitch them all together in one long video for the 15, 30, 45, and 60 rolls. So let's take a look. All right. Now, 15 rolls without a 7. So we're going to have the 4 hit one time, and we're going to have the 10 hit 2 times. The reason for that is statistically they're going to hit 1.5 times each. I can't do a half a hit. So we're going to do 1 and 2, and it'll catch up when we hit the 30 rolls, okay? So if the 4 is only going to roll 1 time, that means that the first player will have their come bet travel, they'll do their 75 odds, and that is it. It means the second player, since we said that they are going to be doing a mid-press type of scenario, they are probably going to go to either 75 or 100. Generally, on the 4 and 10, they're going to go ahead and just do straight presses because they're going to get almost the exact same amount of money as well. They'll make $48 instead of the 50, but they're going to straight press it up to 100. So that would be the 1 hit. Then, like I said, we'd have another player, 2 other players that are going to place it after it hits for the same amount of money that this player has at risk, which with 25 with 75 odds, that's $100. So they're each going to place it for $100. Now, because it only hits once, they are not going to get paid. There's no second hit. So now let's look at the 5. So the 5 is going to roll 2 times statistically. So the first time, they're going to travel their come bet, and they're going to make their $100 in odds. The second time it hits, they're going to get paid their $175. Okay. Now, we've got the place better that has less at risk. First time it hits, they're going to go up to 75. The next time it hits, second time it hits, they're going to go up to 1 1/4. So at this point now, they have just as much at risk on the table as the comeback. Then we've got the other 2 players that, again, we have 125 at risk here. So after it rolls the first time, they're just going to place it. And then the second time, they're going to go ahead, take their money. The first one is just going to same bet. Now the second player, as we already said, is going to mid-press. So they're just going to collect 100. And that's your 2 hits on the 5. Now let's look at the 6. So the 6 is going to roll 2 times as well. The 8 will roll 3 times. Under the scenario, 15 rolls without a 7. It actually comes to 2.5 times each. So just like with the 4 and 10, I can't do a half. So 6 will do twice, 8 will do 3 times, and it'll catch up on the 30 rolls. So twice on the 6. So it's going to hit, get placed odds. Now, the next time around, they're going to get paid $175 for the second hit, so we'll give them $200 for a quarter, and they are finished. Now, this player we said would do a mid-press, so the first hit, they're going to go up to 90, and the second hit, go up to 150, and they are done. Then we've got the player over here that both of these players, as soon as that 6 hits, they're going to place it for 150. First player is just going to same bet it twice, or once, because it's only going to hit once after the first time. So they'll get 175, we'll give them 200 for a quarter. And then this other player is going to get paid 175, but they are in a mid-press type of situation, so they decide to go to 210. And there we go, and that's the 2 times that is going to hit. Now the 8 is going to hit 3 times. It's going to hit 3 times. So the first time, our come better places his odds. The second time, he's going to make 275 or 175, so we'll give him 200 for the green. And then the third time, same thing, we're going to give him 200 for a green. I have to load up on some more blacks over here. And some more purples. So that's the 3 hits right there. So this player that placed it to begin with, mid-press, as we have already covered. First hit, second hit, going up to 150. Third hit, it's going to pay 175. They're going to go up to 210. And that's the 3 hits. Now, these other 2 players, after it hit the first time, when this combat traveled, they went ahead and placed it. That way they're staying on the same level as the combatter as far as how many hits. Okay, that way we're going with the same number of hits. Let me fix this really fast. Alright, so we said this player is just going to same bet it. So the first hit, they place it. The next 2 hits, they're going to same bet it, which is going to pay them $175 twice. That's going to be $350. I'm going to go ahead and take $150 here and just give them a purple. There we go. Now, the player that is going to do a mid-press situation, so first time is going to pay $175. Or the second time, rather. The second hit is going to pay him $175. They go up to 210. And then the next time around, it's going to pay him $245. So we're going to pay him $250 for 5. They go up to $300. And that's the 3 hits on the 8. So now let's look at the 9. So the 9 is going to hit 2 times, just like the 5. So the first time, it travels and they get their odds. The second time around, they get paid their $175. The place better, first time around, takes himself up to 75. Next time around, takes himself up to 1 1/4. That's his 2 hits. Now these other 2 players, after this travel, the first time the 9 rolled, they went ahead and placed it. So now they're going to go ahead and get paid. This player is going to get paid $175 once. So they'll take their $175. And now the place better that is doing a mid-press type of situation, they're going to take their $175, press themselves up to $200, and collect that one. Now we move on to the 10. So the 10 is going to roll 2 times under this scenario to cover up for that 1.5 times each on the 4 and 10. So the first time around, it travels, they place their odds. The second time around, they get paid their $175. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take 3 1/4. There we go. So that's that. Pretty easy. The place better that is doing a mid press will throw in $2. So that he can get paid $100. The first hit, he'll go to $100. Second time around, he'll throw in $5 so he can get paid his $200. Only go up to $150. A lot of them are going to go up to $200 at this point, but we'll just take them up to $150. Okay. So then these other 2 players, after it rolled the first time, they went and placed it. The first player is just going to, same bet, so he's going to collect his $195 the second time it hits. While the other player is going to do a mid-press situation. He'll throw in his $5 to get paid $200, and he'll just press it up to $150. Now, there we go. So we are looking at what could happen in a 15 rolls out of 7, which is approximately a 20-minute roll, with someone who does come bets, someone who actually just placed it for less money than the come better is willing to have at risk if they did a 3-point Molly system. In this case, they're doing all the way across, but just a 3-point Molly system, they're willing to risk up to $375. This player only placed $320, $320. He only placed $320. And then we have 2 players that kind of did a follow the leader. They placed it instead of doing the come bet, but they did it at the same time the come bet went in. So they have the same number of hits on the number as the come better does. Right now, after 15 rolls without a 7, the come better has, and this is again not counting a 3-point Molly set. This is doing all of them, the continuous come. Right, would have $1,050. A 3-point Molly system player, you could basically cut that in half. Right, so you cut it in half, figure they're going to have about $500 in profit, if that. The place better has $726 in profit. The person who placed it after the points has the same number of hits as the come better, has $1,070 in profit. They actually have more profit than the come better, despite the fact that they have had the exact same number of hits per number and the exact same dollar amount risked per number as the come better. They are exactly identical, every aspect, except they have actually made more money. Then we've got the player that is doing the same thing, but he's doing a mid-press scenario. So he has $730 in profit. So you notice the 2 players that are pressing have the least amount of money after a short little 15 to 20 minute roll. They still have made profit. Again, I want to stress that this is roughly double what a 3-point Molly system player would have. So if they're only playing 3 numbers, you're looking at 500 in profit, not 1,000. Okay. So I hope you guys find this interesting. The next video, or if this is the combined one coming up, will be taking this all the way out to 30 rolls without a 7. Thanks, guys. Bye now.